Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Have you noticed something lately about the Philippines? People are traveling all over Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, Bali, Indonesia. But somehow everyone is keeping the Philippines, it seems like. And that's interesting because on paper, this country is called paradise. The beaches, the islands, English speaking people, friendly people, the smiles, but and cheap. They said cheap. But here's the thing. I live here, I've traveled around, I've dealt with the system, and I understand why people hesitate to come here. I've talked to a lot of tourists, both locals and foreigners, and they're all saying the same thing, exactly the same thing. The Philippines is expensive compared to nearby country. Is it really expensive already, or it's just it seems expensive, it feels expensive because the quality doesn't match the price compared to other countries. Plus, a lot of Filipinos are saying they'd rather go to Thailand or Vietnam because it's more worth their money. You spend about the same, but the quality is way better. And let's be honest, our passport is very weak. So for a lot of Filipinos, collecting passport stamps is already a big deal. Some people even joke that this place should be called the Philippines. The Philippines. Not an insult, but because everything comes with a P, comes with hassle, friction. So today I want to break down what's actually happening with tourism here based on my experience and observations to back up some claims. Because if tourism wants to improve in the Philippines, we have to talk about the real reasons why people are choosing elsewhere. Let's start with the biggest issue. This is the value for money. A lot of people still think the Philippines is cheap. It's cheap. It's still cheap compared to Western countries, right? Way cheaper than Western beaches for sure. But it's not really like you expected. Not as cheap as you expected. For example, for a mid-range traveler, not backpacking, not luxury, the Philippines realistically sits at around like $90 to $100 per day. And, including everything like accommodation, food, activities, transportation. And when I say mid range, I mean, comfortable, a proper room with a private bathroom, clean, well built accommodation, um, not hassle transportation, the activities that you need to pay. So that already puts it like closer to, I don't know, closer to Singapore maybe, or not very far from Singapore anymore. The difference though is Singapore is expensive, yes, but it's efficient, it's clean, it's predictable, and it's reliable. You know what you're paying for. Thailand, okay, let's say it's the same price, maybe 80 or 90 to 100, $120. Same as with the Indonesia, with Bali, but at least there you're getting the quality that you're paying for. In Vietnam, it's way cheaper and the quality is good. And those places are easier to move around, easier to understand. Not with language, but you know what I mean. And way more organized for tourists. So naturally, travelers start asking a very simple question, especially Filipinos. If I'm already spending close to Singapore prices or like to same price going to Thailand, so why not go somewhere easier or go there like to Thailand, Vietnam, those places where you can get more better quality accommodation. One of the biggest turn-offs, I think. In Vietnam, you can find a clean room for $3 to $5. $10 already feels like luxury. In the Philippines, it's hard to find anything under $10. And if you do, the quality is very, very, very bad. I recently stayed in hostels here in the Philippines for the first time. And wow, I wasn't prepared for how bad it was. The bed sheets weren't even washed. I could literally smell the last person who slept there. The bathroom was filthy, broken faucets, broken showers, mud on the floor, on the tiles. Kind of felt humiliating to stay there, like very degrading. Because you want to travel cheap, you're saving money, but you go to Vietnam, with the same price, your experience would be so much better. And what makes it worse is that I've stayed in hostels all over Europe. for the same price, around 10 euros. Maybe just a little bit more if you convert it. So you get very, very clean spaces, working bathrooms, quiet rooms, and place where you can actually rest and relax. Same concept, bunk beds, shared rooms, but the quality, night and day. Here, they like to set up a cardboard room with shared bathroom and charge $20 a night. Average decent accommodation now sits around, I don't know, like $35 to $50, something more, sometimes more. And we're still talking about mid-range. And a lot of the time, it's still poorly maintained. Still, some of the facilities or some of the fixtures are still broken. There's one light that doesn't switch on. There is the faucet that is moving. So I personally heard resort owners say things like, "Why fix it? It'll be broken again in 2 weeks anyway." So that mindset explains everything. Not long-term quality, just short-term cash. Another thing is transportation. Getting around. If you don't have your own motorcycle or car, moving around can feel exhausting. I know that in other countries, you also rent motorbikes. But here in the Philippines, public transport is very limited. Connections are very slow. Tricycles are often overpriced, especially for foreigners. I mean, especially for tourists, because they overprice us as well. We are not locals, they will overprice us. And the routes aren't clear. So instead of feeling free, you feel stuck and makes you waste your time instead of sitting on the beach already. In Sikihor, they already removed the only public transport that most old people used to get around the whole island. They just removed the small multi-cab jeepneys. First thing that I thought about was the old people. How are they gonna get around now? It seems like everyone is required to buy their own scooters, but not all people drive, especially the old local people. I just felt bad when I learned they removed jeepneys. They only have 2 trips per day, and now it's gone. And the domestic flights, insanely expensive. Manila to Siargao, hitting like $300 to $400 is not normal in Southeast Asia. And I don't know why the government is letting these airlines just do whatever they want. It is really affecting tourism. At that point, people just leave the country and fly somewhere else. Okay, now let's talk about the thing people joke about the most. Everything has a fee. And I mean everything: environmental fee, local support fee, tourism fee, guide fee, parking fee, boat fee, camera fee, shower fee, poop fee, pee fee. Yeah, the price is different for pooping and peeing. So you want to hike, register at the barangay, simple trail, mandatory guide, empty beach, still fee. That's why people call it the Philippines, because you feel it everywhere. Like in Sikihor, they added another fee. So before you leave the island, you need to pay this, I think they call it ecological or ecotourism fee. They said it's for the environment, it's for the, tourism infrastructure, like as if the fee that they're collecting, the environmental fee that they're collecting in every tourist spot that you go to in Sikihor is not enough. That's why, yeah, the Philippines, people call it the Philippines because you feel it everywhere. And here's the problem. People don't mind paying if they see where the money goes. But a lot of time, you pay an environmental fee in every place or every tourist spot you go to in the same area. Then you arrive and the place is full of trash. There are no trash bins. There are no enforcement of, no littering or managing the trash. So no maintenance, no visible improvement as well. I understand that maintenance is necessary here. Filipinos are not disciplined with trash, let's be honest. But if you are charging people, then at least do your job. But instead, what you see are rundown structures, dirty facilities, and zero accountability. And another uncomfortable truth: a lot of tourism development here actually destroys the place. Ugly concrete buildings built right beside the beach, no planning, no design, no respect for the environment. There's a building there they built, and they will charge you, and then you see It's just mud, trash, and broken pathway. I mean, tourism shouldn't ruin the very thing people came to see. Most of the time, it's like that here. Ugly structures beside the beach. And there are no proper infrastructure like the drainages. All the ugly gray waters are going to the ocean. It's really disgusting. And the Philippines has a lot of rules, but very little convenience. Other countries regulate tourism too, but they make it smooth. Here, it's paperwork, unclear instructions, and constant friction. There are places here where you need to pay your fee, then go to another office to pay tax and fill out a paper, then another office again for environmental fee, fill out another form or logbook. Oh, and there's a pig. I mean, why can't they do it in just one place? You pay for the tour, including the tax and the environmental fee, all in one office, all in one place. Then, I don't know, that office submits the tax and the environmental fee to the government. I don't know. I mean, make it easier and smoother. That's what we're paying for, no? I mean, that wears people down. Sometimes you need to wait like 1 hour in a queue or in the line to fill out a paper or to pay. It's not organized. And speaking about fee, I also remember in Boracay back in 2023, I booked an island hopping tour. I paid for the tour and environmental fee, right, separately. We had 5 islands to visit. The last one was snorkeling. So the boat just stopped in the middle of the sea because apparently that is a snorkeling area. You pay for the snorkeling gear if you don't have one. But if you don't want to snorkel and you just want to swim, they still charge you for swimming in the sea. Like, make it make sense. You ask them, what is the fee for? They say it's for keeping the water clean. Like, explain what does that even mean? Make the water clean? It doesn't make sense to me at all. However, I think about it so because, I was too proud to pay for something that doesn't make sense to me. I just stayed on the boat and watched the people snorkel. I mean, you need to pay a fee to swim in the beach, to swim in the sea. And they tell you it's to maintain the water, keep the water clean. Like, how is the 100 peso gonna, and I already paid for environmental fee. So it's just really annoying. So yeah, if you compare, the Philippines ends up losing, not because it's ugly, but because it's hard. It's hard to move, hard to plan, hard to understand, hard to justify the price. And yes, the English language helps. That's one of the reasons people still come. But language alone can't carry a broken system forever. And like I said earlier, I've talked to both foreign and Filipino tourists, and they're saying the same thing. The Philippines is expensive for what it offers. I think the only difference is in how they describe the people. I mean, Filipinos don't say, "Oh, but the people are so friendly." I mean, we don't really talk about the people. We always talk about like, "Oh, the prices are so expensive compared to the value, compared to the quality that they offer." But the foreigners always say Filipinos are warm anyway, friendly and very accommodating. That people really go out of their way for them. So that is the positive thing that foreigners always say. And that's true. Filipinos are incredibly nice to foreigners. So yeah, that's really it. Tourism here isn't collapsing, but it's clearly struggling. And pretending everything is fine isn't helping anyone, I think. The Philippines is still beautiful, though. That hasn't changed. But the experience around it, the prices, the fees, the logistics, that's where people are starting to hesitate to come. And speaking of fees, I also remember in Bantayan Island, there is one lagoon there where you need to pay 250 pesos to enter, just to enter. That is not consumable. It's just an entrance fee. And then there's really nothing to do inside the lagoon. You just maybe can relax. If you exit the lagoon and then you enter again, you need to pay 150 pesos again. So why? I don't get why. And why are they not regulating the entrance fees and the fees there like that? Because beach are supposed to be open public. And another one is in Sikihor. There is this public beach. You can just enter anytime you want last year, but recently the LGU, the local government unit, they started putting entrance fee, which is 100 pesos. That is actually expensive for an entrance fee. And now when you exit the island, you also need to pay an ecotourism um, or environmental fee that is 50 pesos. Like I said in the beginning, we don't have problem paying if we know where the money is going. The problem is, like I said, a lot of times we don't know where do they put this money that they're collecting from the tourists because they're not improving anything. They don't even put proper trash bins in those tourist spots. So we don't trust the government. We don't trust them. Oh, there's a fee going back. Oh, everyone is questioning what is that for? Even if it's just 50 pesos, what is that for? Everyone is asking because we don't trust them. So if you've been here, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you're planning to, at least now you know what to expect. And I'm not saying don't come to the Philippines. I'm just saying come informed. Okay, so let me know your experiences if you've been here, you've experienced these things that I've mentioned, or if you haven't been here yet and you're planning, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again in the next one.